correct? And what was the background of making them for TV rather than for cinema?
Well, the first one is like a scheme we have in Holland, where 10 directors, young new directors can, for a certain budget, can make a film. And the second one is just like a broadcasting station called me and asked me if I wanted to do a film about, and it had to have a devilish dilemma in it. So the first one I wrote just from an idea of my own, and the second one I wrote as well, but it's created from the compromises I had to make for a broadcasting station.
Mm-hmm. And it was part of a series in which all these dilemmas, each one had a different dilemma.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. And do you find that as a younger director working in the Netherlands that television has more opportunities because these films seem to be tackling issues that we don't get to see very much in cinema from the Netherlands?
No, I don't know. But for me, the problem is with Holland with funding is that there always is a broadcasting station attached to it. So you always have to deal with restrictions, and because they're always looking over your shoulder and what you are allowed or what you are not allowed to do. For example, you cannot show with some broadcast station you cannot show 3 scenes during the night because it's too dark, and they think that people zap away when the image is too dark.
So if you have 4 night scenes, then that's banned.
Yes, exactly.
but nudity and violence is okay.
Well, for this broadcasting station, I only do it, but I want that I can show everything what I want. But the other thing was that there was a little small budget for it, and well, the thing was this devilish dilemma. It's just me asking you to make a comedy, and then you have to deliver a comedy. It's not like you have on your stomach a stone to make something. And the first one, that was like a stone I had on my stomach that I need to throw out.
Mm-hmm. This one is made in Antwerp, ANVERS, which is of course in Belgium, and you did your other film, C'est déjà l'été, also in Belgium. What is it about Belgium that's so attractive?
You have the best beer and the best French fries. No, I studied in Belgium, so I lived there for 4 years, and my hometown is like 20 minutes away from Anvers. Well, there are certain things that you don't find in the Netherlands. For example, if you take the first film Anvers, at the end they go to this bar where all these people are dancing. You don't have this at all in Holland, for example. In Holland everything is so, how do you call it? I don't know, there's too much money. So everything that gets old gets trashed away and they build something new, and which is a kind of a shame. But also like in cultural, the people among each other, they are more open and warmer. And
And the scene that you mentioned in this dancing bar, whatever it is, some of this felt like documentary. Did you have hidden cameras? How did you manage to make it feel so authentic?
I don't know. All the people were there were real. There were only like 2 actors playing among it, and in the beginning, of course, everyone wants to show his face in front of the camera or make a joke, but at the moment it becomes boring for them as well, so life continues.
And they're drinking more and dancing more.
Yeah. I like one scene you don't remember. There's an old man dancing with probably his wife, and we are filming it, but his hand glides towards her, what's the neat word for ass? but towards her ass. And then he's like, he pulls it back up because probably like he's remembering, they are filming it.
So that moment had to be it. And we also spot that you're in the bar scene when the camera pans across these destroyed old faces, and then suddenly you pop up in the cameo. Or what?
Yeah, like a surf dude.
Yeah,
He's sitting there.
Like a Hitchcock thing.
Yeah, I always give myself like a cameo. It's cool. A cameo in each film, but most of the time I cut myself out. But this was like one of the first films I made, so I still was. No, I had to be in. Maybe someone discovers me.
But you could have played the main part of Martin, and this would have given you more chances.
Yeah, but no, yeah, I'm not an actor, so
and
only in real life.
Of course, one of the things that unites both films is that in both films children are put in rather traumatic situations, and we see the baby crying in the first one, and then in the second one, little Golda is abandoned at the roadside, and she has this horrible look on her face. Some directors might think again about exposing children to trauma. Is this not an issue for you?
No, but but the kid in the first film, the kid is their own child. So and they are an own family. They are a couple, and this is their child. And of course, yes, the kid is crying, but it cries every day. Yeah, I don't know. But and it looks much horrible. So every time the camera goes to the hallway, for example, there is a woman standing in the room, like the how do you call it, the kid nurse, taking care of him. And of course, like we put a lot of audio on it of a kid crying all the time. And well, and for the second film. Well, the second film, she's 3 years old and she's an amazing actress. But the thing with the road that she's crying and they're driving away, that was the only hard kind of thing that we did not meant to do. But the thing was like, so every day also her mother is on the set, but this scene. So her mother and all the others are hidden away, right? And we are all in the car. I myself am in the back of the car, like in the trunk, and so the guy puts the child away, but we did not really thought of it that the kid actually thought that everyone was going away. Like she really saw like all the crew sitting in the car and driving away, so she really thought she was being abandoned. So that day it was the last of shooting for that day. But I don't know. We really talk. I talk with her like through and over and over and over again. Like it's, you know, before shooting, how a film works, and she's just very smart and she understands.
And at the end, she wants to continue acting, perhaps, in other films?
Yes, after this one, she has a lot of roles, actually, in films.
Star is Born. Does anybody have a question for Martijn about either ANVERS or Under the Weight of Clouds? Obviously, the second film deals with the subject of kind of people trafficking, and this is a big subject all over Europe. What kind of research did you do for this? And did you expose yourself to any dangerous situations yourself?
No, but the parents of the kid are actually advocates, lawyers. So they helped me with a lot of dossiers, crime dossiers. But before, my father's a policeman, and they helped me also with a lot of crime dossiers. So I read all these, how do you call them? Like during. In court, you know?
Court,
yes, when the criminals are being interviewed by the judge, but also the women and all their statements and things. I really read a lot, and it's like I was shocked, like how amazing it is. It's like, it's like this unbelievable number of women that's being like 200,000 or something that are being trafficked each year. And one of the big countries is Spain, and the second is Holland. But Holland's more important for like they go through Holland to mostly to Dubai, and but you read horrible stories. Like there are girls who are in the age of 13, 14 who are put into trafficking, and then this guy tells like because like you know you can put them and they have to have sex like 5 times a day, and but after 5 years like they are totally a wreck, so they cannot well, it sounds all horrible, but they cannot work anymore. So and in a lot of cases they actually sell their body parts, so like the livers and the heart for like donors to yes. So it's like reality is really much worse than we think we see in films.
And this being shown on Dutch television, did that lead to the subject being discussed more? Did it have an impact in the real world?
I don't know about the impact, but so there is this kind of, there are 4 films were being made, The Devilish Dilemma, and after it there is like in Amsterdam there's a discussion with philosophers and blah blah, and like the police officer of Amsterdam, and they talk about the subject. But
and what does your father, the policeman, think about your making films about marginalised figures that many people would say criminals or kind of underclass? What's his view?
He much rather would like me to make a James Bond film, but yes, but I don't know, like but also all my friends, and normally if they were not my friend they would not see this kind of films. So.
But is it your intention to continue with the social, what we might call social realism, or because there are many other types of cinema available also in the Netherlands? We just saw Borgman which was in Cannes. Is that your thing, that you will always be making films about the less fortunate, or would you be happy to make a nice romantic comedy about dentists and lawyers?
Yeah, but at the moment, like realism, that's my thing, and I just want to make like one really good film, a realistic film, and if I do that, then maybe I go to something else, you know, like an other genre or whatever. And about the lower class of society doesn't really matter that much to me. But the thing is, like, if you take like the higher class of society, let's take like the Antonioni, for example, which is like amazing filmmaker for me. But their subjects of persons have like a problem in their life, and they can put all their time into that problem. These people, they have actually a lot of problems in their life. They need to pay the rent, they need to find work, and yeah, they, you know, and the relationship and all these kind of things. And then something on top comes above it, and I find that at the moment more interesting how these people deal with it. These people sounds also stupid, but yeah.
So anybody has one last question for Martijin? Please wave your hand. Maybe I'll ask one last question myself, which is, given the ongoing crisis or situation, as we might now call it, since it doesn't seem to be ending, are you expecting this to be, is there more of an interest in documenting these problems among the filmmakers that you know in the Netherlands and Belgium?
No, not really, but I just find it a hard question. Like, you mean more realism? Or
are these subjects being more widely discussed by filmmakers, or is it still kind of people generally don't make films about reality situations?
Not as far as I know. Most people in Holland, they make like entertaining more films. And in Belgium, I don't know, we all saw Bullhead, maybe.
And the films of the Dardenne brothers?
Ah, yes, of course. but I don't know. I don't really have an answer for it, because the thing is, like, there were problems before the crisis, and there are problems during the crisis, and even when the crisis finished, there will still be problems, and yeah, like the second film, Under the Weight of Clouds, I'm not really like that fond of making films around that subject, because for me it's like, it's a huge subject, and I would rather make a film about I don't know, like a man and a woman who are having a conflict, like small details, or
so that might be the next film.
well, yeah, I wrote a script, but it's very hard to find money for it. Yeah.
Perhaps a Slovenian co-production for the next film. Everybody's got lots of money here. So please join me in thanking our guest this evening, the writer and director of the two films you've seen, Martijn Maria Smits. Thank you.